everybody. Welcome to Shut Up and Listen. I am Bree, and I'm here with Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany.
Hello, everybody. Bree, thank you. I love these conversations that we have. I think they're just so therapeutic
They are. We were
and
just talking
important.
about that. We were just saying, this is our chance to kind of work through all our problems. Thanks for joining us and being a part of that experience with
Yes.
us.
Yep.
Um,
It's you're seeing therapy real life right here.
exactly. Well, and I think it's really important to talk about it because if we
Hmm.
it's shut up and listen to her. Well, we have people we need to be listened to, and we get frustrated and we get told the same thing.
Yep.
It's like I don't know if they just handed this thing out when they got their diploma, they became a doctor, they did their residency, and part of that was you get an endless supply of blame it on her weight. As the answer, Alex, I'll take blame it on her weight for 300. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's so constant, and I think it's their catch-all answer. How has that impacted you? What have you been going through with that?
Oh my God. It is weight and anxiety. Those are the things that get noted in my medical notes every time. Amy, hi Amy. I know Amy and I talk about this all the time, so you're with us, Amy. Um, we it's in every note, right? And the thing that drives me bonkers is when I went to the doctors a year and a half ago, starting this journey of trying to figure out why my blood pressure is so insane. Which, by the way, this morning it was 175 over 105. Yeah, yeah. So and I'm on all kinds of meds. So trying to figure out why my blood pressure is so insane. I first said, well, maybe I've had a hysterectomy, so I don't know if I'm in menopause because I don't have periods. And so I went to my doctor a year and a half ago and just said, could it be hormonal? Could I be going into menopause? Is that why I'm gaining weight and why my blood pressure is so high? So that was my initial was, I have noticed I am gaining weight. I cannot explain the weight gain. I need help. So it's not like I went in there and was like, what? I'm overweight. I don't understand. Right? It was, this is something I'm not happy with. I like to be healthy. I need help. Somehow it's out of my control. And it's as if every doctor immediately assumes because your damn BMI, and I could rail about BMI. I have, if you follow me on Instagram, I have lots of BMI tirades, but just because my BMI says I'm quote unquote obese, automatically that's what they go to of, well, your blood pressure is high because you're obese. Brie,
Yeah.
I wear a size 10. To me, that's kind of average. Am I a little overweight? Could I lose some weight? Sure. But obese? Anyway, so it becomes the catch-all, and I feel like I am not taken seriously. I feel belittled. I feel demeaned. They're always putting in their notes. I counseled the patient on healthy eating and the need for healthy eating and exercise, as if I don't I've been a marathon runner. I've been a dancer my whole life. I eat healthy. Did you even ask me how I eat? Did you even ask me what my diet is and what my exercise is?
They
No.
did not.
Okay. I'm going to get off my tirade. How has it affected you, Bree?
It affects pretty much everything. So the whole reason I went into the doctor in the first place is because I put on all this water weight and I had edema. I gained it so quickly and rapidly that I knew it was edema. And that's what I went in. When I went to the hospital, into the emergency room, I said, I can't breathe. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have all of this water weight on me. I don't know how it happened in 2 months. It doesn't make any sense to me. Please fix me.
And
And
and how much water weight is this, Bree? How much water
80
weight?
pounds. It was 80 pounds at the time. 80 pounds of water weight in 2 months I put on. So you could be eating everything under the sun and you still wouldn't put on that much weight in that amount of time. So they did all these tests and they're like, oh, wow, you've got all these things wrong with you. A couple pulmonary embolisms, a DVT, and a large heart. Like there's like so many things wrong with you. You have heart failure. You need a surgery. You have to have open heart surgery. There's so many different things, right? And then they put me on furosemide at the hospital. I lost 80 pounds in 12 days. So definitely not fat. It was all water weight. And that's in my records. They have that. And now I'm back to 95 pounds of water weight. They have nothing to say why it's happening because it's nothing. Like it's not your liver, it's not your kidneys, it's not your heart, it's not your this, it's not your that. But what is it? And nobody wants to do anything about it. All they do is blame it on my weight. Go see a nutritionist. Go on Wegovy. Go on, do these things. And I'm like, I literally don't eat that much food. I remember like yesterday, I was like, all I had in the morning was a piece of toast and an egg for breakfast. And then I hadn't really eaten much during the day, bought some water still, but not too much water. I know, got to watch both sides of things. And I'm taking diuretics like they're going out of style. And it's not working. What is causing this? And they're just like, it's got to be your weight. It's got to be your lifestyle. Go see a nutritionist. And it's not the solution. I also know the solution is if you put me in the hospital for 12 days, I'll lose all the water weight. It'll instantly be gone. You won't recognize me. But the hardest part is when they don't see it. They literally don't see it as a problem. And this happened to me at the Mayo Clinic this past February, I think it was. And I went in to see a kidney specialist and he was checking my edema and he looked at my legs and he goes, you really don't have that much edema on your legs. So I don't really understand what the problem is. And I looked at him and I said, because I don't carry the edema in my legs. I have very little edema there. It is all around my midsection is where I'm carrying all my water weight. He's like, oh. So he didn't even recognize the fact that I had it. He just saw me as fat.
Right.
Like, I don't know how else to say that. But he looked at me like, bitch, you're just fat. I don't know how else to say it. It was just, that's how it hit me. I guess that's not what he said. He didn't swear at me, whatever.
Right.
But that's how it hit me. It felt like you could just feel this wave of energy come at you so abruptly. Like, I don't see you as having an issue, except that your diet and you're overweight. Right. And it was that dismissiveness that tore at my core.
And here's the thing, Bree. Let's just pretend it wasn't water weight. Let's pretend this is your body and this is the weight you are at right now. Mm-hmm. You still have real health issues. You still have real health concerns. So why are people who are obese, women, let's just say women who are obese, being denied medical care? I was supposed to have knee surgery, and my orthopedic surgeon was like, oh, you're a perfect candidate. Let's do this surgery, get you back on your feet. He knew that I exercised a lot. He's like, let's get you back and exercise, blah, blah, blah. Orthopedic surgeon didn't say anything about my weight. Insurance denied because it said an obese BMI is contraindicative for positive outcomes on knee surgery. So we are denying this surgery.
Oh, my word.
So wait, people that are overweight just have to deal with hurt knees? Mm-hmm. When the doctor thinks that you're a perfect candidate for it and it will help you? So it's a huge issue in our society as a whole, and especially in our medical society, that somehow people who carry extra weight are deemed less worthy of care. And every one of their issues is related to their weight. Now, does weight cause some issues? Absolutely. Sure. Does it cause all of them? No. And is somebody that is bigger, are they any less deserving of kind, compassionate, quality care? No.
100% agree with you. And what are you ignoring that's going on in my body when you're just blaming it on the weight?
Yeah.
And why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? What is it? And my thought on this is that because you don't know what's wrong.
Yep.
And you're just going to use that, like I said, that answer when you can't find out what's wrong, we'll just blame it on her weight. And they don't want to they don't want to dig in and figure it out. I think that I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on in our bodies. I don't know what is happening, but I do believe when I look at people and I see people now is how much is edema that people are holding on to because of the crud that's in our food, what we are eating. Is there any, I try to eat, I don't always eat great. I eat within my allotted stuff, but sometimes, like I said, I was a vegan for a while and sometimes I just had French fries. Okay, that's not a healthy vegan. So I'm not, like I'm saying, is like maybe not making the healthiest choices, but I'm keeping within my guidelines of sodium calories or sodium content in the things that I eat, because it's very difficult to I mean, I'd have to literally go to the farm down the road all the time and buy completely organic. And we know in today's world that organic farms aren't A, going to survive, and B, aren't affordable for most people because the price of everything has gone up so high. So we get into this position where we can't really make always the best choices for ourselves, but we also aren't getting the care, because I know this is not coming from anything I'm putting in my mouth as far as I'm eating too much.
Right.
So what is wrong with us, and what could be wrong with us that we're not addressing, and how does that affect us going forward? It really scares me.
Yep. Let me tell you, Bree, I finally, like, I lost it on my doctor. Like, I yelled at her, like, cry yell. And I said, I am so excited to lose this weight so that you will finally stop harping on my weight and finally start treating me. And of course, the note in my the log for the day was that I was full of anxiety and hysterical about my weight. Whatever. Okay. But so I said to the doctor, put me on weight loss meds, which it's limited what they can put me on because, I'm not obese enough. I don't have diabetes. And so but there are weight loss. So I am on weight loss medication right now. I am strictly tracking a 1,200 calorie a day diet. I am exercising 5 days a week usually. Now, granted, I don't feel well, right? Like, I have serious blood pressure issues, so I have to be very careful how I exercise. But I am exercising, and I'm, like a 3.5 mile hilly walk, doing resistance training, that kind of stuff. I have lost 1 pound. There was a point there where I lost 3.5 pounds, and then 2 pounds came back on.
Oh.
I'm literally, like, I'm not I'm tracking everything because I am so excited to show the doctors, like, I lose the weight and look, but I can't lose the weight now. So what is that about? But of course, it'll be my fault. Somehow it's a moral failing of mine. It's a moral failing of mine. So, okay, we could complain about this all day.
I know we could. And I think it's important to share these stories, though. I think it's because I think people can relate to, oh my gosh, that's happening to me. I go to my doctor. If you're not reading the notes that they put, so most doctors, they will have a chart you can get into, your own personal chart. You have to get a special login and create your account, but you can read all of their doctor's notes, not just the notes to you, but what they are putting in your chart. It's very important to be reading those things. Be on top of your health. You're your own best advocate. It's very, very important. And you can see, what are they saying? What are they doing? And then you can call them out, because that's your receipts. That's my receipts when I go back in.
It is. I remember I had an appointment one time with a hypertension specialist that I thought went fairly well. And then I look at the notes after, and he said, oh, she has essential hypertension exacerbated by anxiety. I'm like, you didn't hear a word I said. You didn't hear anything. You heard nothing I said.
Yep.
Anyway,
Real, very active audience today. I'm really loving all
I
these. Over
know.
on LinkedIn, looks like everybody's over on LinkedIn. Hi, LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Um,
Lori's got some good, yeah, going on Manjaro, and it took getting diabetes to be taken seriously. That's maddening.
yeah,
It's maddening.
and it's
All
not
right.
your fault. I mean, she's like serious. How do I
No.
share this out? Just share it. Tag people in it. Share
Yep.
it out. We're over on YouTube as well, live on YouTube. You know my channel over there, Lori. You can share it from there as well. But
I
thank you
think
for that.
I think one of the when the live is done, they'll be able to share it, right? On
Yes.
Instagram. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clearly I'm cheating on my diet. Yes, Amy,
Yes.
clearly. Clearly.
Clearly, it's all our fault. We're doing something wrong. And
I
I
mean, the
think
cool thing about being on weight loss meds is I am not hungry, so there's no like real desire to cheat on my diet.
Mhm.
Like I'm actually having to make myself eat enough calories. There are times when my tracker says you're not eating enough calories.
Wow.
And so I have to get to that 1200. So that is a bonus of being on weight loss meds. But I'm not losing weight. How do you not lose weight on 1200 calories and exercising? How? Anyway.
So there's something seriously that's going on, and they're just. It feels like it to me, and I'm sure to many others, and probably to you, Tiffany, that we're just not being heard.
Right.
Like what's coming out of my mouth is not what you are hearing.
Yes.
So what are the solutions, or what, because we have a list, so we're going to make sure we take
Yeah.
enough time for all of these today. But what are some of the things that we can actually do? And I'm not talking about, oh doctor, I really wish you would listen to me. I think we're beyond the
Yeah.
sugarcoating, making it sweet, caring about their feelings. Remember, you're paying them, one
Mm-hmm.
way or another, whether your insurance pays for it, which you're still paying for or
Mm-hmm.
not. They are working for you. So how would you talk to an employee that wasn't doing their job
Right.
right? Maybe.
Right. Right. And a I w- I would think a doctor would be absolutely thrilled to have a patient that cares and says, my health is very important to me. I am taking this very seriously. I do not feel right. Something is wrong. Please help me. You would think that a doctor would be like, yes, you are the kind of patient I want because you're motivated, you care, you'll do the things, you'll do the 1200 calorie diet, you'll exercise, you'll watch your sodium, you'll, track everything, blah, blah, blah. Like that's honestly, we're ideal patients, right? Like we will do it. Tell me and I will do it. And so I think we need to keep that in mind. Like, I think a lot of times we take it on ourselves that it's somehow our failing on some part. And it's kind of that nice girl, good girl thing where we don't want to upset the doctor and we don't want to, we women already don't go to the doctor enough. We live with symptoms to the point where women die of heart attacks and drop dead from brain tumors because it was just a headache and I didn't want to bother anybody with my headache or and so we'll even die choking because we don't want to bother anybody, so we'll go to the bathroom to choke on our own without bothering people. So anyway, and these are studies that people have done. So we need to get rid of that good girl. We need to get rid of that. I need to, tiptoe and walk on eggshells around my doctor. And we need to find a doctor that will be partners with us, a doctor that values the fact that we care about our health and we want to be healthy, and a doctor that will listen to our concerns. And it seems like it's getting harder and harder to find. But I think there are ways we can find those doctors. And we have some good lists. We have, what is it, six good tips. And I think we should go through them. And then the people that are on, if you have other things that have worked for you to help you find the doctor that will be your partner, to help you get the care you deserve, if you have tips, please share those as well. All right, Bree.
Yeah. And I want
Let's
to
get
say
started.
too, as I've learned through things, we do have 6 tips. One of the things that I've learned through all of this is I'm starting to want my doctors to behave like an orthopedist. And the reason that I say that is when you break something and an orthopedist fixes it, they don't feel like their job is done until you are back to as close as normal as before that injury or that thing happened to you, right? They have to diagnose it, they have to fix it, whether that's surgery or a cast or whatever it is, and then you have to go back in, and if you don't have the right range of motion or whatever's happening, they give you physical therapy, and then you finally go to the end and you check out with the doctor, and they're like, all right, you're good, you're ready to go back to work, you're ready to go do your life again, this is as good as this is, it's as close to perfect as we're going to get you. So they have like things they have to accomplish in their job that are expected of them, and then we get to regular doctors and that all just kind of goes away. So what do we do? How do we get them to shut up and listen? The first thing is name the pattern out loud. Name what it is. They don't like being called out for being lazy or for not listening to you. How do you call them out? What do you say to people? How do you say, hey, you're not doing your job? How do we say that?
Hopefully it doesn't get to the point where we have to be like yelling and angry and you're not listening to me. I have gotten there. We can start with those, good therapeutic I feel statements. I feel like you're not hearing what I am actually saying. I feel you're not listening to my concerns. I feel you're not taking my concerns seriously enough. Hopefully, the stepping it up to the I feel statements will connect, and because we don't want to make enemies of our doctors either. I mean, doctors have honestly, the system is crappy on doctors too. They're getting pooped on all the time from insurance, and they only get, 10 minutes with you if you're lucky, and they have all their charting they need to do and blah, 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 blah. So it's hard on them too. So if we can approach it like, imagine that they have good intentions, that they got into medicine because they want to help people, and they woke up that day and came into work because they want to help people. So if we can say, okay, I know this person wants to do good by me, and then encourage them to follow that, then hopefully like appealing to their better nature.
Yes, we have to. I think we start out that way. I think that at least we give them the benefit of the doubt on that. And I love what Amy she just said this in the comments, and I've got a lot of comments I have to get to still, but this one really struck me. How do we say this so they take us seriously but aren't offended? Okay. That's powerful because Amy, and this, I'm guilty of this, as many, 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 many women are. Who cares if they're offended?
Yeah.
Because this is your health. It's not theirs. If I go to get a tattoo, girls, I have a lot of tattoos, and the tattoo artist shows me a design and I don't like it, I'm not going to put it on my body because I have to wear it for the rest of my life. So I'm going to tell the tattoo artist, no, I don't want that. You're going to have to redraw it. If they get mad and I offend them, then I'm going to go find another tattoo artist because I have to live with this. This is my body. Same thing. This is your body. I am at the point where I will be nice until it's time to not be nice, which leads us really well into our second.
Before we go into the second.
Okay, go ahead.
You put something in writing that I love and I want to call out.
Okay.
And I think this line is really powerful. Very powerful. I'm going to read it word for word what you said. I need you to look at my symptoms with the same urgency you would if I were thin. So we have the I feel and we have the I need, and calling out that behavior, that pattern of you are dismissing my symptoms because I am heavy. So what would you do if I were thin? What tests would you run? How would you look at my labs? What would you recommend as the next step that is not losing weight? What is it?
Yeah.
I think that right there.
That's a powerful question.
Yeah.
Get them,
Okay.
ask them what they do, because that's the truth of the matter. And I will tell you what my experience has been. As soon as they removed all the water weight, then they said it was my heart issue, and they just threw a bunch of diuretics at me, which I have now been on for 3.5 years, which aren't working. And do you know how much pressure that puts on my kidneys? You know how many other illnesses and issues I'm going to have because of the damage I'm doing to my body with the drugs that they're giving me to fix a problem that isn't really the problem in the first place? Okay. So I'm getting pissed. We're both getting a little pissed. We're both upset, right? They're not listening to us. What are we doing? This one is my favorite one. This one I've heard from a lot of people. This one has a lot of repercussions and accountability for the doctor. And I know you really like this one. I'll let you share this one.
Okay, so this one was everything on this list I've done except for this one. And this one I think is powerful. To me, this is the one on the list that is going to move the needle the most. Request documentation. Okay. Please note in my chart that I have requested a full thyroid panel and you don't think it is necessary. So please go ahead and put that in my chart in writing that I have requested it.
And that you've declined, and that you've declined to do that.
And that you are declining treatment or figuring it out.
That's huge.
The word decline.
Yeah, I know, decline. I don't know if people understand the power of those words, but what that does is, from the doctor's perspective, and yeah, this is the nice way to go about things, but sometimes you have to take matters into your own hands. This opens them up to lawsuits. Right? Mm-hmm. This is negligence. This can come against them. They don't want these things in their files. This is documented information. They have to put it in your file. Like, they're so happy to say, oh, it's because she's overweight. You didn't ask me if I wanted that in my file, but I'm going to tell you what I do want in there. I want you to say you declined to treat me for this water weight that I'm carrying around, for this issue that I'm having, for this test you refused to run. And that opens them up to a whole new can of worms that they don't want to have. And are you forcing their hand? Yes, you probably are. But does it matter? No, it doesn't, because you're advocating for yourself. And that is so vitally important.
Yep.
Crazy.
Vital. Absolutely.
So we used this earlier too. Oh, go ahead, Tiffany. If you
No. I'm just like, that was just a big sigh of, just how important this is. Mm-hmm. And how hard. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, next time I go to the doctor, I want to say this, but like, I'm going to have to rehearse. Like, I'm going to have to get myself ready to advocate for myself this way. Mm-hmm. It's not easy because we are so taught to be nice, be good, make everybody feel good, don't hurt anybody's feelings. Don't ever be nice, be kind. I like that one, Lori.
Yeah, Lori's out. I can just hear, I hear all of these. She's been commenting like crazy, and I've got to get it all up on the, I'm trying to multitask, Lori. You know me. It's a Friday, but I can hear it in Lori's voice, and I know what a badass she is. So I'm like literally hearing all of these words and all of the chat that she's putting in. If you're over on LinkedIn, you're in for a treat today, because they are really on fire over there. But, that brings us into our third, and we kind of touched on this, the if then approach, which is, if I do this, then, and that's not what it is. Now, what are you going to do? Because I actually went through that, and I played this little song and dance pony ride thing with 3 doctors. So first it was a cardiothoracic, right? So I had my surgeon and I had my cardiologist. They're going, well, it's not your heart. It's got to be your liver. So they sent me the liver guy, right? And I did all the stuff for the liver guy. He's like, we're going to do a biopsy. We're going to do all these things. And we want you to do this and da-da-da. Did all that stuff. Liver guy's like, we're going to figure this out. And then he didn't. He sent me to the kidney guy. Well, it's not your liver. It's got to be your kidney or your adrenals, right? So they just keep moving. So what if I did the things that you're asking me and that's not it? Now what are you going to do? And so how do we get them to listen to us? Hey, I'm doing these things. If that's not fixing it, then what tests are we going to do? What is out there? And that's the hiccup with them,
Yep.
because they don't know.
Yep. Yep. And the whole, when you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. The whole, well, that means that, zebras are considered like the rare illnesses, the rare diseases. But here's my thing. How many of our issues would be less quote unquote rare if we were actually listened to, right? Like if our symptoms were taken seriously and truly looked into, I guarantee more of those quote unquote rare things would be discovered. And they are discovering them more and more now. So it's crazy to me that a doctor goes to that. And we're both in the same vein. Like I've had more than 80 lab tests and scans. So I'm not saying my doctors aren't trying. Like there's been a lot, okay? We're going to specialists, we're doing this. And they're trying to answer with the most obvious, like, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this. And even some of those rare things they've ruled out. But they're not going beyond that. They're like, well, we've looked at everything we possibly can. I don't know what else it could be. I literally gave them a list. I have a friend that is a medical researcher, and so she took my case to her medical research community, and they gave me a list. Okay, ask your doctor to check these rare illnesses out, these rare things. I gave my doctor that list, and she looked at it and she went, "Oh, these are out of my. I don't know about these. I can't. I wouldn't even know how to look for these." So she's all, why don't you send it to your nephrologist? So I did. Nephrologist is like, oh, this is out of my specialty, but I don't think I don't think it's this because of A, B, and C, but no, these aren't my specialty. So send it to endocrinology. So I sent the list to endocrinology. No, I don't think, so not even willing to be curious, not even willing to try. So I think that would be a thing of, if you were curious about this, if you were to dig deeper, if you were to think about this in a more creative, non-textbook way, because we know illnesses in women often look very different than the textbook way, because most of the tests have been done on men. So if you were to look at this in a more creative, curious way, what are my symptoms that stand out to you that could point to something different than what we've already looked at? And like, maybe if we appeal to their curiosity, maybe if we appeal to, most of us love figuring out mysteries, right? Like that's a fun thing. So look, I'm a mystery. Like my thing is medical mystery, Tiffany, right? So I'm a mystery. Be curious about me. Like let's play a game. So I'm hoping I like this if then approach. Mm-hmm. If you are curious, then what avenue would you explore?
Which leads us right into, and if they can't help you, ask for a referral. Mm-hmm. Go see someone else, which is great if you have great insurance and they'll pay for everything. Right. If you don't have insurance, you rely on where you go to begin with. And it can put you in a tricky situation. I have great insurance, but then it doesn't pay for any weight loss drugs, right? They don't cover that. So if I want to do anything like that, which I would love to do, just to say that that's not it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You're still not, because I know it's not weight. I know it's water. And why aren't my cells releasing water? I don't know. Mm-hmm. And that just seems like a fundamental medicine 101 question to me. So, but you need to see her. You need a referral, but you need to, ask questions about it. Mm-hmm. Who would you refer me to and why? And what would they do different? Might be a great question. Or when you're going to schedule or you get into that first call, bring your information and say, I'm coming to you because these things have been said and that's not working. That's not solving my issue. Mm-hmm. I'm still suffering from it. And now I'm coming to you, and you're trying to set them up to maybe look outside the box or look
Yes.
beyond the normal, typical way that they treat people. What do you suggest, Tiffany?
I do like the ask for a referral for a couple of reasons. One, if you say, if this isn't your wheelhouse, who do I talk to? Who should I go to? I think it's respectful because it's recognizing that doctors can't specialize in everything. But also, nobody likes to be told they can't do something. So it also says to the doctor, like, triggers a little psychological of, oh, you think I can't figure this out? You know,
Can I speak to your manager, please?
right? So it does a little bit of that. So I think it encourages them. I mean, you're right. Like a general practitioner is not a nephrologist, and they should refer you to a nephrologist if you are having kidney issues. That should be a referral. But it is absolutely appropriate to say to your GP, okay, I understand this is out of your wheelhouse. Who should I see and why, and what should I talk to them about? What would be the important things for me to talk to them about? Because I do think it gets it you will feel less dismissed, less like you're just being passed around, and more like, okay, I have a reason I am going to this doctor. I have a reason I'm going over here, and I have a specific thing to talk about. And you can say, can you put that in my chart? Can you put that in my notes? Can you send the doctor a message? I happen to be in a closed system. It's called Kaiser. And so the doctors all message each other. And can you send the doctor a message as to why I'm coming to them? Because when it comes from a doctor, it's
Right.
a little higher.
It's a little
And
higher.
don't put in there that it's my weight.
Don't say that because we don't want that.
Put
I
in the
like
real
what
symptoms.
Amy said here. Never thought about this. What about setting your phone on record and letting them know that? I always thought, because we're podcasters, and Amy, you're a podcaster too. Grounded in Maine, watch it. It comes out every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. But I always thought it'd be fun to podcast this. Not that
Yeah.
I ever did, because it was a lot, but I went through open heart surgery. It would have made a really great podcast or something like that. Just was overwhelming to me at the time, and I didn't do it the way it happened so quickly. But I think it's important. I think we should be able to record in some way. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, we have another solution.
Yep. I want to stay on this.
Okay.
Doctors record because they're using AI transcription.
Yep.
So a lot of them will say, oh, I'm going to record this conversation. They'll set their phone down because they're using AI transcription. And so I think it's perfectly okay to say, okay, I'm going to record it as well. I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Lori. Instead of can you, how about please put this in my chart? Don't ask. Please put this in my chart.
Nicely say, put this in my chart.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So one of the other things that we were talking about, and I know I have done this in the past, you have done this, but there's more to it than just bringing somebody, but bringing a backup, bring somebody with you, somebody that knows you, someone that lives with you, someone that sees the suffering that you're going through. Because a lot of times when you're getting all of this information thrown at you, it hurts so deeply that it can be hard to find the words and the anger to express. I'm not saying yelling at people, but I'm just saying with that sense of authority or that urgency that you want, without the tears flowing, without the heartbreak. Because I know the last time I was a doctor, I bawled my eyes out for 15 minutes because I haven't been able to get help. And then I don't know how much I'm actually, can you even understand me at this point? Bring a backup. Have someone there with you if you can. That can help.
And I'm going to add to that.
Yep.
Bring it back up and let that backup know why they are there and what you want from them. So an example, and Brie and I were talking about this before we started recording. My partner, David, I've started bringing him to my appointments. And by the way, the doctors always note, brought her partner, blah, blah, blah. But he just kind of sat there. And one appointment in particular, he was just sitting, and it was a very difficult appointment. The one I just went into the car and cried after. And the one comment my partner made was something along the lines of, well, what are you know, like, we don't want her going through the same thing all the time. Like, I'm glad you're not testing that because she's already been tested and we don't want him going through. So it didn't feel super supportive of me, right? So we got into the car and I just was crying and I couldn't even really talk to him. And I had to really think about, why am I so upset right now? And so when I was finally able to articulate, it was, I have you there to back me up, to be the person who knows how this is affecting me, the person who has seen the change, the person who sees me suffering, the person who sees my symptoms, the person who knows how I eat and how I exercise and all of that. And I need you to be my advocate. I need you to speak up and help hold the doctors accountable, because it is very hard, especially as a woman. It doesn't matter if you have a male or female doctor. Like, it's still hard to toe the line with your doctor. And I need help. I need somebody there advocating for me. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that. He's like, you're such a strong woman. I figured I'd just let you do all the talking. I wasn't quite sure why you wanted me in the room. I thought it was just moral support. I'm like, no, I want you, like, holding the doctors accountable and backing up the things I'm saying and telling them what you're seeing. So a lot of times our backup that we bring needs to know why they're there and what they're backing up.
Yeah, I like what Amy said here. It gets so frustrated and defeated. That's the thing too, is that this isn't, the doctor will see you and they will talk to you, and then 5 minutes later they're on to the next patient.
Mm-hmm.
You are a forgotten memory. They'll just finish up their notes really quick in the hall. It takes them seconds because of the AI now, and then they move on to the next patient. Whereas I wake up with this, I go to bed with this, I don't sleep at night with this, I can't function in my day, I can't do the things I want to do, I can't, it affects every moment of every day that I live for the past 3.5, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, I am going to get mad, get mean, cry, not be able to articulate, not be able to say the things I need to say. And having a partner with you that can do that is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if that's, like husband, wife kind of thing, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend thing, or best friend, or someone that you talk to every day, that you can say, hey, and I know it's vulnerable for you to bring somebody into that, but you need that person. You
Mm-hmm.
need that ride or die that goes with you, right? That's going to sit there, and when you can't speak, will speak for you.
Yep.
Because it's important to get the message across. You only have a very short amount of time with this doctor when you do make these $10,000 appointments, and you need to get the most out of them and to benefit yourself.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's frustrating. You can tell we're frustrated. We get frustrated all the time. But if you've reached the end of your ropes and this doctor just doesn't seem to be helping you, please always remember tip number 6: know when to walk away.
Know when to fold them. Know when to hold them. Start singing.
Fire them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. Say, you are not helping me. Stop payment. I'm stopping the payment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pay you anymore. You're not done anything for me.
And I have done that. Like, I ghost my doctors, like, I'm done with you, like, whatever. But I think it's helpful to say, like, let them know.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know, hey, you're not hearing me. I don't feel like you're taking my concerns seriously. It feels like you're more concerned with protecting yourself for whatever reason. And because you can't be a partner in my health, I am not coming back to you. And I think that's good for doctors to know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I wonder how many of these awful experiences we have had that impact us greatly, where the doctors have no idea. They think they did a good job.
Yeah.
And they go on and keep hurting other patients. Whereas if you told the doctor, I cannot come back to you because you have made me feel this way. And for them to be like, I wonder, hopefully, that it might make them be a little, oh, I hate that I made a patient feel that way. You would hope.
It does. I know this because I did this to a doctor, but I didn't really tell him to his face. So I have a cardiologist here in the Twin Cities, And I decided I wanted to go to Mayo. So I put calls into Mayo and they started requesting my documents. But in the meantime, before I could get scheduled in Mayo, I still had a doctor appointment with my cardiologist. So I went to see my cardiologist, and the nurse came up to me as after the I don't know how many nurses there were. There's maybe she was a PA or something, but she came in the room and she was a little upset. And she said to me, "Are you going to Mayo? What are you going to Mayo for?" And I go, "To fix this because y'all aren't doing it." And she's like, "Oh, well, do you think that's such a great idea?" And they were really, really bothered that they saw on my chart that all of my documents, all of my records had been requested by Mayo to go see them. And it
Wow.
pissed them off.
Wow.
So, yes, it does matter, and they don't like it.
Wow.
It was fun.
Wow.
Did they help me? No. But did I go back to them? No, I went to Mayo.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is. You've got to let them know.
Mm-hmm.
And now did I follow up with Mayo? And here's the thing. I know we talked about get a female doctor, do this. I found a female internist at Mayo Clinic. I'm not going to call her name out yet, but I went to her and she sat with me for an hour in my appointment, and we went through everything, and I cried, and my husband was there, and he was like, she's been suffering so much, and we did all of the things, and she's like, we're going to figure this out. I'm going to have a whole team of doctors, and we're going to look at everything. We'll get all these tests done. And I had a follow-up meeting with her after a lot of the tests had already been done and come back, and it's not this and it's not that, and your kidney's fine, and your liver's fine, and your heart's fine, whatever. We knew all these things. And she said, and that's when she said to me, after open heart surgery, your body can change and it won't go back to being the same. So you can expect that you might carry a little more weight now. And I said, how many pounds is that? And she said, about 10. And I said, then what about the other 80? And so it was at that point that I realized, even having a woman doctor, that I don't know if it's male or female. I think it's just the right one for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the part that's the hardest for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%. I also want to add something to this of make AI your friend. My Instagram feed, my algorithm throws me so many medical things because this is the world I'm living in right now. And there's so many AI options. There's so many self-care options. There's so much. There's go ahead and sequence your own genes. Go get a full body scan. Do this blood test for 100 biomarkers that your doctor will never test you for. Blah, 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 blah. So there's all those things that are very expensive. But patients are starting to we're not the only ones frustrated. Patients are starting to take their care in their own hands, right? They're like, if you're not taking me seriously, I'll pay for it to be taken seriously. But there's AI that is very inexpensive that can help a lot. And I found one, it's in beta. But basically it goes through the system, finds all of your medical history. Mine went 15 years back, medical history.
Wow.
Puts it together and compiles a picture for you, asks you questions, and they're so nice. It's so validating. It's like, I love you. I wish my doctor talked to me the way this AI talks to me. That must have been very frustrating for you. That must have been really scary. I really like the way you're taking your health into your own hands and being so proactive. Like, that's how my AI talks to me. And I'm like, I love it. But anyway, it's amazing. And these AIs that focus on medicine, like they're taking their information from medical journals, not just chat is helpful, but chat pulls from the whole web. And so some of the information can be inaccurate. So these medical ones take it just from medical, and it looks at everything, and it looks a much more holistic picture and asks you questions, and you answer those questions, and it comes up with a much more clear picture. And I am so happy with the picture my AI came up with, because it feels very reasonable and very right, and not even that rare, right? But my AI is like, I think this is a multi-system issue. You've got vascular issues, you've got kidney issues, your adrenals, and so it's like, you need to see these 3 specialists, ask these questions of those specialists, and look deeper into this. And it was so helpful to me that it took all the noise and all the stuff and just, you know, said, look at these areas, and I can now go to my next doctor appointment with this information and know that I am validated for my concerns. Because this AI was like, you should not be having those symptoms with hypertension. Those are not normal. Doctors need to be taking you seriously for that. And just things like that, to where I can be like, I know this isn't normal. I know these are not common symptoms. These are very serious, and we need to look at this deeper. And I'd like this to be taken more seriously. And so empower ourselves with information. There's so many tools out there to where we can empower ourselves with information and go to the doctor and say, I've done this research. And they're going to belittle you. Oh, Dr. Google, you're going to Dr. Google. Blah. I have 25 years of medical experience. I'm like, at some point, doctors are going to have to deal with the fact that we can type and get information. I'm still coming to you, doctor. I'm still bringing this information to you. I don't have 25 years of medical experience and 10 years of medical school. So I'm saying, what about this? But I'm much more empowered because I have information. We have communities online we can go to, where those communities, how many times have people been diagnosed by their community that on something the doctor didn't even consider?
Yeah.
So for me, that's another thing, is find your community, put your symptoms out there, use AI, and go to the doctor empowered, and see me as a whole person, and the weight is only one factor. Unless
Exactly.
in like your case, the weight is a major factor because it's not your weight. But like my weight may be a symptom. My weight may
Mine
be
is a symptom of something.
Yours is a symptom. I think mine is a symptom.
Yeah. And so why is it happening? What do we do?
Mm-hmm.
And you can talk to AI and you can ask it questions, and it's not going to look at you and shake its head and write notes in your chart and call you fat to your face. Right. It won't do that. It's very nice about that. It actually has manners, and it does like a challenge. AI likes a challenge. And if you give it a challenge, it'll help you think outside of the box. And I think the one thing that I know we need to wrap things up, and we're running late today, but this is so important. This is why we talk about it for so long, is that we can't count the female part of this, right? You've had a hysterectomy. Things started to change for you a lot. Yeah. How is that impacting it? What effect is that having? Because with that comes all of the hormonal things and all of the different things. And so, I sat in a group of women yesterday, and we talked about perimenopause and menopause. I sent them Amy's wonderful menopause panel that she did. There's just so much that we need to talk more about, and how it affects us. And then how does that affect our entire body's health and what we're doing? So there's a lot more to this that they're never ready to look at or put together. They're just like, send you to the next one. And it's not our problem. We'll send you to the next one. AI doesn't do that. AI looks at everything. So you can put all of that in there. And I want you to put everything in there. I want you to say, oh my God, I had to get up to pee 4 times last night, but I only drank 50 ounces of water yesterday. Or, whatever anything that you probably are too embarrassed to even tell your doctor, maybe. Put all of that stuff in there. What has changed? What is it like for you? Because you can go really in depth with that you can't do with your doctor, and get a better perspective of what it is that's going on with you.
Yeah. I did that yesterday. I went for a 3.5-mile walk, and my hands got really, really swollen, painfully swollen. And that's always happened to me, like my whole life. My hands get really, really swollen when I exercise. And I just thought, let me ask AI, is this normal, or could this be another symptom? And AI is like, yeah, that's a symptom. Your vascular system isn't working right. So like a little bit of swelling is normal, but the amount that I had, like, can't, make a fist with my hands. It's like, no, that is a symptom, and you need to talk to your doctor about that. Yeah. So it'll even tell you. I put in a new medication that my doctor had been, actually AI recommended a medication. I'm like, oh, my doctor talked about that one. Tell me more about this medication. Why would this medication be good for me? And so it pulled it out. And I'm like, can you tell me the sources that you're pulling this information from about this medication? Pulled the sources, told me the sources. And why do you think this medication especially is good for me? Should I be concerned about this and this and this with this medication? And AI took the time to explain all of that to me. And it ended up that, looking at this medication is probably a very good one for me. And then I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and all that. And this medication keeps popping up on the medical podcast as almost like a miracle medication for a lot of things. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm kind of, this was a good med for me. And so I just started it yesterday. But anyway, my point is, it is a powerful tool, because then you can message your doctor. And I did. I said, hey, I remember you mentioning this medication in the office. And you had to take me off this one. I wasn't doing good. But maybe this one I would do good with. Can we go ahead and try it? You mentioned it. And she didn't even respond to that email, but she did write me the medication, write me the prescription. So I hope everybody listening takes two things away from this. One, no matter the size of your body, you deserve to be taken seriously. Absolutely deserve to be taken seriously. Your health matters. And while a few symptoms may be made better by losing weight, not all of them will. And your weight may be one of those symptoms, okay? Even if it's not, you deserve to be taken seriously. Number two, empower yourself. You don't have to be the nice girl. You don't have to be the good girl. Go to your doctor with information that you've compiled using your AI. Go with an advocate. Be your own advocate. Like, go there in strength. Way easier said than done, by the way.
Yes.
But do it. Doctors are going to have to catch up. Like, patients have so many tools at their fingertips for empowering ourselves. Doctors are going to have to catch up. Gone are the days when doctors like, I have 25 years experience in this, so you just have to take my word for it. Gone are those days. Like, they don't get to say that anymore.
They don't. And we're going to start holding them more accountable. And that's what this is all about. Shut Up and Listen to Her every Friday live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're so glad that you guys joined us. Thanks to our wonderful, wonderful, everyone in the chat was just fantastic today. We appreciate you. Thanks for doing this, Tiffany. I feel better already.
Me too.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
And it's just